What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Little bit of a different video today, a DMZ discussion video specifically focused on the spawn locations in the game, as we are now getting into a specific phase of the DMZ where a lot of players have progressed quite far into tiers with the factions, meaning they have access to their loot, and perhaps now they're starting to concentrate less on that and more on actually hunting players. We are starting to see a sort of meta develop around people trying to poach players in the early game, and the early game is starting to become increasingly difficult for new beginners of the DMZ as well as players in general to progress from. On the screen right now is a map of all of the spawn locations which are currently in the DMZ. That means that when you drop into the DMZ, you and your team, or just you by yourself, you're gonna spawn at one of these locations. Now, there's a couple of things that we have to bear in mind here. The amount of players, the maximum amount of players that should be in a DMZ game at any given time is 60. Now, we previously thought, as well as when I was doing the research to create this video, that this was 66, but with the latest patch and with the reloaded season 1 patch notes that we got, we were able to see that the focus here is actually on 60 players in a DMZ match at once. Now, this will be a mix and match of solos, duos, and trios, and so oftentimes you'll find that some of these spawns will not be utilized because, of course, there are 26 spawn locations, and 26 into 60 doesn't translate necessarily in all of them being used. However, as you can see on this map here and in the example that I'm showing you in the background right now, it is possible to spawn in better locations than others. Some of these spawn locations are heavily compromised in terms of being in direct sight lines of other players, and if those players roll into the match with sniper rifles, now that people are starting to know the DMZ better, they will be focusing on those lanes and trying to see if they can get an easy clap, an easy kill on someone that's standing there. Most of the time, I find new players, as soon as they launch into a DMZ, they think that for those first couple of seconds, at least a half a minute, they might be safe and they can try and sort of like orientate themselves and see, oh, okay, cool, I have a key, I want to go to the marshlands, or oh, okay, cool, the weapons case for, you know, the chemist, so I can get my M13 is over here, so I have to go there. And they might be inside their map looking and trying to figure out where they're going to go, and that is exactly the time that players are going to pounce on you and kill you. So this is 100% a super good advice point here. As soon as you spawn into the map, the smartest thing you can do is find yourself a safe little area. Generally speaking, perhaps even have a battle plan before you launch into DMZ, so that you kind of like have an idea of like, as soon as I spawn, no matter where I am, this is the general direction that I want to be going in, and then start moving for that. Now, whether this means you running and finding the nearest vehicle and jumping into that and driving off, or just finding a bathroom to hide in while you figure out what you want to do next, the bottom line and the main reason about this video is that I want to advise you not to hang around the spawn point where you are at the beginning for too long. Move out of that area as fast as possible. We also know that some of the later faction quests specifically task players with hunting players, taking their dog tags and extracting them. So this is the state of the game that we're in right now, and this is something that can really upset you if you actually launch into the game. You've got your insured weapon, you're ready to get something done, and perhaps you're going in solo like I mostly do, and then essentially a team of 3 roll up on your spawn immediately at the beginning. This is also something that will develop over time as you get to know the map better, and that's going to give you a general idea of where people can be coming from as soon as you spawn. That's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any other things specifically around this topic that I perhaps didn't explain well enough, or something that you'd like to know more about. I have more videos coming to the channel specifically looking at faction missions as well as key locations, but I tend to also look at doing little videos like this specifically around one particular topic and hopefully help a few folk out. But that's it. It's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are in the world, and until next video, fucking cheers.
They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me.